about a year ago, I bought this 2018 Silverado. It's the 5.3. And I said to myself when I got it, I said, the first thing I want to do is put a draw system in that bed. First thing I want to do. I've always wanted one. They're super convenient to have. And if you're thinking about building one, there's a million videos on YouTube on how to build it. It's not rocket science, and I'm not doing anything new with this one. So I'm not going to show you how to build it. There's a million videos on YouTube on how to build these things. But one thing I'll say is that if you're thinking about building one, what you're probably thinking about right now is draw slides or no draw slides. That's the only really big decision to make. Usually it centers around money, or if you're physically able to pull a draw open that weighs, say, 200 pounds. Here's my opinion. I built it without draw slides, okay? And I've used it for 9 months, and I beat the hell out of this thing. Without a doubt, on average, it's opened at least twice a day. Sometimes I go out with the dogs, and I open it up and close it 10 times, okay? I beat the hell out of it, and it's still working great. Now this drawer right here on the left, this has just got a lot of regular old gear, maps, first aid stuff. I would say this drawer weighs about 100 pounds with the gear in it. I think it's probably about a 50-pound drawer, 60-pound drawer, and there's probably 40 or 50 or maybe 60 pounds of gear. So you're talking 100 to 125 pounds. This thing opens and closes so easy. I was with my left hand, it just slid it right in. Okay? This one's heavy. Okay, without a doubt, this one's heavier. This is at least 200 pounds. This is where all the tools are. All the tools, I have this little top in here, a little work top. Tools, ratchet straps, shotgun shells, tons of stuff in here. This is probably 200 to 225. Now, this is my right hand. It opens and closes no problem. Is it heavy? Yeah, it's 200 or 225 pounds. But it opens and closes fine. Okay? And would it close and open easier with draw slides? Yeah. But there's two things about draw slides that I don't like. One is the cost. They're freaking expensive. Okay? The second thing is it's a serious point of failure. If for some reason something happens where they break and it jams up the drawer and I can't get it open, that could be a real problem. I can think of one case right now where I would have been absolutely just dead in the water. And I had a dog that got really injured, and I had to get into these drawers for the first aid. And if something would have failed on it, who knows? Maybe it didn't fail right at that moment. Maybe it failed the day before and I couldn't fix it and we went out. Next thing you know, it happens and I can't get into the drawer. So I don't like that it's a point of failure. There's no point of failure here. It's wood on wood. You just open it up and you close it. Is there more friction? Yes. But there's no point of failure, which I really, really, really like. And I guess there's a third thing, actually. Is a lot less skill level you need to do a no draw slide approach on these drawers. I like that. I like that. Less skill, less time. So there's a bunch of reasons to not do it. So skill level, time, money, and failability. There's a failability factor, and in fact, that failability factor is very much related to the skill part of this. So if you don't think you have the skill and you're kind of winging it, failability is probably going to increase. Let's put that aside. That's my opinion. If you have some sort of disability where you have to have draw slides, I would say get a decked system. That's probably the best thing to do. Is it expensive? Yes. It's probably not that much more expensive than putting the draw slides in yourself. I kind of feel like that because, I mean, if you also consider it could fail because you don't know what you're doing, it might cost you more than a deck system. Deck system is pretty expensive though. I've seen them for anywhere from $1,000 to $1,250. They cost money. I've seen maybe $1,500 too. They're a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. But they're also watertight, extremely, extremely strong. The draw slides are smooth as hell. You can put 2,000 pounds on top of those things. I think they're rated for. Plus, they got a warranty. So it's probably worth it if you absolutely have to have draw slides. If you don't need draw slides, don't do it. The next thing is that if you don't do draw slides, I see a lot of people talking about wax and no wax. But I never see anybody that used wax actually show how they did it. I'm not sure why. Here's my opinion on the wax. I did it. And I did it because it was very cheap and it didn't take very long to do. And I said, let's just do it. And what the conclusion I've come to about the wax is that it does help. It probably helps somewhere between 10 and 20%. That's my opinion on it. 10 to 20% when you're talking about a 100-pound draw, not that much. But on the 200-pound draw, it's kind of like turning a 200-pound draw into a 160 or 70-pound draw. That's kind of worth it to me. If you got a 250-pound draw, right, that could be 50 pounds. That's a lot. So the waxing helps, okay? And I have some video on how I did the waxing. And I'm going to play it for you right now. All right, thanks. So this one here, this one is just wood on wood. It's a wooden drawer that's just riding in a slot. There's no guides, there's no nothing. I probably have 3/8 of an inch on either side, maybe a 1/2 inch on either side. It's 1 by 6 here. This is OSB 1/2 inch. The front of this is a 2 by 8, so it's heavy duty. And you can see maybe in the back corners, you can't see it from here because of the angle, but the back corners, you can see I put 4 by 4 pieces there. And I got them in the front too. And then I got a divider. And that's for dividing, but it's also for support. Now this opens good. Without a doubt, this opens good. And all this also too is this is 1/2 inch OSB here on the bottom. So we essentially have 1/2 inch OSB riding on 1/2 inch OSB. That's it. And it opens fairly easily. No gear in it. Obviously, if there's 150 pounds of gear in it, it might be a little bit harder. But there's no handles on it yet, so the handles are going to help, obviously. You're going to be pulling from here and not from the top. And I think that it should do fine. But this one here is going to do a little bit better. This one here is going to do a little bit better. And I'm going to change this one to match this. What this is that it's the same situation. The only difference is that I put a little rail right here, which makes this drawer only ride on that rail because it's on an angle. There's no rail in the back. It's only here. So it's on a little bit of an angle right here. So the only point of contact is this spot right here, which means less surface area to rub, which less abrasion, less resistance. It's going to open up easier. And the next thing I did is I waxed the bottom of this. Now I've seen a couple of videos where people talk about the waxing, but they don't actually show the process. This is the wax that I picked up right here. See if I can get it in focus. It's 10 bucks. Honestly, if you don't want to spend the 10 bucks and you just want to put that rail in, that's going to help. This is going to help a little bit more though. Without a doubt, it's going to get you, when this thing is full, you're going to thank me that you put a little wax on it for 10 bucks. I did it to this one and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a pretty quick process. You need like a paint stirrer and a little butane torch would work really good as well. And I'll show you why you need that. Let me set it up for you, and I'll show you how it's done. This torch I got right here, I would definitely recommend picking up one of these things. All it is one of these throwaway propane canisters. These things, honestly, I cannot believe Home Depot sells these things for this cheap. I think these things are like 4 bucks each. They're throwaway, they're not refillable, but it's a metal container. I mean, how the hell are they selling a metal container here full of freaking propane for $4? It doesn't make any sense. But this little attachment, this thing I think was maybe 20 bucks or so. You hold it from here, and it's good for burning weeds and stuff. But it also, it's just good for anything. It's good for just directing heat. It's very versatile. All right, so we crack open the wax. That's what it looks like on the inside. I've already used a little less than half of it on the other one, on the other drawer. This is the dry one. What we do, I got just a paint stirrer here, a long one. See how long it is here? Scoop out just a big chunk of it. Just smush them down. And then all I'm doing is just trying to spread it around. All right, and look, we still got a bunch left. We still got a bunch left. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, but so we're gonna heat this up to make this the chunky parts of this wax melt into the wood. It's gonna fill up all the cracks. It's gonna smooth it out, and it's gonna make it so that when we ride this thing back and forth on that wooden piece, which I'll put it in a second, it's not going to scrape off all the wax. Because right now, if I rode this thing on there, you'd see a big chunk of wax there. Now, I'm going to light up this propane here. So now we got it lit up. Don't go nuts with the flame. Now remember, this wax is actually flammable. It's got oils in it. So we're not, it's almost like, it's like a candle. I mean, so you're gonna get spots, see that flame right there? You just gotta blow it out. So just be careful, don't like try and set the draw on fire. All you're doing is going really quickly over the wax to melt it. And if you see like a flame like that, just blow it out. Quickly. You can see the smoke. Immediately, while it's still hot, you get a rag. And you rub it in. If you feel like there's still some thick spots, I don't really see that many thick spots. No, I think this is all right, and that's it. It can be a little scary when the thing lights up, but as soon as you see it light up, just move it to a different area and then blow it out. It goes out very quickly. Remember, you're not lighting the wood on fire. It's the wax. It's like the oils in the wax that are lighting up. And it doesn't light up like gasoline or anything. It lights up like a candle, so it's not really a big deal. Now, once that's waxed, all I did was I cut a piece of this 1/2" OSB. I keep catching myself saying USB. This is 1/2" OSB, and what is this, like 2 inches long? It's really nothing, because remember, it's only going to be touching this first edge. And I get it in here pretty close. Pretty close. And then we attach it. Now I'm just using a brad nailer. I don't know where I'd be without my brad nailer. The thing is amazing. We're good.